I will start with giving you a background information about migrants entrepreneurship in Lebanon. Actually, we have three types of migrant entrepreneurship. We have transnational entrepreneurs. These are entrepreneurs, migrants, who did not return to the country. However, they still have business linkages with the country. They could have shares in some companies. They could be part of a crowdfunding initiative. They could have outsourced some of their businesses or parts of their businesses to Lebanon. So these, we call them transnational entrepreneurs. They're not back. They're just going back and forth between the country of origin and their host country. Another type of entrepreneurs that we have are the ones that are involved in collective or social remittances. These are the ones that come back to the country, but they do not, if you want, engage in DDI or diaspora direct investment. They engage in development projects. They go back to their region, to their villages, and they develop, I don't know, soccer fields. They help in the water and the wastage treatment of things. They are involved in the development of their villages, of their region, and not in opening a business or establishing a business. And the third type of migrant entrepreneurs that we have are the ones that are that send remittances for consumption. And these we all have a lot of, which they send the money back to their parents. And this money is used by the parents for consumption, for daily allowances, etc. In terms of direct diaspora investment, it's very weak in Lebanon. We rarely have migrants who come back and invest in large projects. So it's mainly transnational more than anything else. So far, what has been done in order for us to attract DDI? Sadly, there has been a lot of fragmented efforts. There is no one national strategy to attract them to the country. A lot of organizations, whether private, public, subnational, and even religious, are doing a lot of things. But nobody is speaking the same language. You have the diaspora is bombarded by people talking to them from different angles. We had an amazing opportunity where the world's richest man, Carlos Slim, visited Lebanon, and he left without any, any action from his end, because you have everybody talking to him at the same time, and everybody is speaking a different language. So we have a lot of opportunities that are being missed because there's no national strategy in place. I will go briefly through what our organizations are doing in order to attract, not necessarily DDI, but to talk to, because as I said, there's no one effort to attract DDI. But I will tell you about what they're doing in order to target expatriates. And most of the efforts, by the way, are not only targeted at expatriates, but entrepreneurs in general. And it just happens that expatriates are also benefiting from that. So in terms of public institutions, we have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Immigrants. Also, as the name indicates, our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Immigrants, we have a dedicated ministry to work with immigrants. We have a separate directorate that deals with issues, because we have a large diaspora, as my colleagues from Lebanon already mentioned yesterday. We have more Lebanese outside of Lebanon than in Lebanon itself. So we have to have a directorate for immigrants. What they are doing so far, they have become very active. They have dedicated a website for immigrants, where it's like they want it to be a one contact point. If you are an immigrant, then you can access this website and get all the information you need to come to Lebanon, not only as a tourist, but also as an investor. And we are working with them, the Investment Development Authority of Lebanon are working with them in order to put the right information on the website to make it available for the immigrants. A month ago, they also, the ministry, they launched the first of its kind conference, bringing together hundreds of migrants or people from the diaspora. It was a very emotional conference, by the way. It was because it was one of its kind. We're hoping that next year it will be more oriented towards actually, okay, let's do business. But as a start, the conference was very successful. It brought all these talents together to try to brainstorm how we can work together between the host country and the country of origin. So this is regarding the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Central Bank of Lebanon, for instance, has also launched a circular, it's called Circular 331, to encourage, this is not targeted at expatriates per se, it's targeted at, to encourage startups, and the expatriates and diaspora, they're getting, if you want, they're benefiting from this initiative. So the thing about this circular, or this new law, is to de-risk investments in startups made by banks. So they're encouraging banks to invest in startups. So at the same time, the central bank is actually providing 75% of guarantee, so that they're encouraging the banks to go ahead and invest. So you have more banks loaning startups and the expatriates as well. We also have a joint, another joint effort has been done between the public and the private sector. There's a website called entrepreneurslebanon.org. So it's a website whose aim is to, it's a matchmaking website, business matchmaking website between investors and entrepreneurs. And a lot of the investors who registered on this website are actually expatriates who are who want to take part in joint ventures, in shares, and to acquire, for instance, a startup or a business. So you have this website that is linking expatriates indirectly with Lebanese entrepreneurs. Lastly, on the public initiatives is my organization, the Investment Development Authority of Lebanon. We do not have, the Investment Development Authority of Lebanon, or IDAL, provides financial incentives. But the thing is that we do not discriminate between foreign investors and domestic investors, foreign also being expatriates. We provide the same type of financial incentives to all investors. How do we differentiate foreign investors from expatriates? It's in promotion. We talk to them differently. We do some investment missions, we do some advertising campaigns targeted at expatriates, but telling them that if you want to invest, we're there for you, and we have those financial incentives, which also happen to be the same financial incentives that we give also to, so we do not have what Egypt has, a special, if you want, special rates or incentives for expatriates. They're just part of the whole package as the others, but it's just how we communicate those incentives that make a difference. Our incentives can go up to a tax break of a 10-year tax break, and free land registration and work permits and stuff like that. We also have a one-stop shop to facilitate.
2 minutes.
Okay, so we're non-discriminatory. On the private sector front, we have a lot of incubators, angel investors, and accelerators, and some religious foundations that are also targeting expatriates. We also have some NGOs doing the same thing. You mentioned the top 10. We have the same in Lebanon. We have also, the UNDP has an initiative called Live Lebanon, which this falls under the social remittances. It encourages expatriates to invest in developmental projects to the country. Yet again, there's nothing on direct investment. So, so now that you have, this is the background information. So what do expatriates really want? Shockingly, after asking a few and doing some focus groups, they're not after financial incentives. So if you give them a 10 years tax break or a 15 years tax break, this is not the tipping point for them to come back to the country. What they are looking for actually is facilitation. They want things to be done quickly, seamless. They want to open a business. They want one contact point to do all of this for them. They want clarity of information. They also want us to tell them about business opportunities. Okay, I want to come to the country. What can I do? Because we cannot take it for granted that our diaspora they know about the local context. Sometimes they have what their ancestors told them, or it's not something, it's not clear for them. And most of the time it's very emotional. They have an emotional connection. They don't see the country as a business opportunity. So actually, it's a communication problem that most organizations have to work on to communicate to their diaspora, is that yes, you can come and invest in your country, not for emotional reasons, but because it's a win-win. You can also make money out of it, because they're not going to come and lose, even if they love the country, So they have to, we have to communicate to them the advantages of coming to the country, and we have also to tell them that it's not only about maybe DDIs. You can participate in other forms. And so this is what they are after. We're not really, we're changing the law, the investment incentives law, and it will not involve anything regarding increasing tax rates to child expatriates. It will involve other things.
Merci beaucoup, merci Rana. Merci. Je vous propose